Good afternoon, student. Today we are going to discuss about constructor in Java. Is when that line counter index is not recognized by this main class. Okay, so after that counter 1 dot increase and int as well as int b equals to counter 1 dot get counter index. If a is greater than b, then counter 1 dot increase, otherwise it will counter 1 dot decrease. After that it will print the system dot out dot println. After that we will come to the Java parameterized constructor. A constructor that have parameter is known as parameterized constructor. Then what we have look this one, Java parameterized constructor. That means the constructor which have the parameter. Okay, parameter means we have to pass something into the constructor. A constructor, why we have used this parameterized constructor? Parameterized constructor is used to provide different value to distinct object, okay. We can have the look of this example. Class student 4, okay. After the int id string name, student 4 is the constructor. Here int I and string n, that means two argument have been passed to the student 4. Then that means this one is the parameterized constructor, because there is a parameter of two variable, int I and string n. So it is one of parameterized constructor. So in this constructor, id equals to I, name equals to n. Whatever you will pass to this constructor, it will come into id as I and name as n. Okay. After that, display. How it will display? It will display is another type of method. System.out.println id, that here id will be displayed and the name also. After that, public static void main and student 4 s1 is the object of student 4, and with that object you can pass this parameter like 11 comma current to the student 4, as well as there's you can create other object like s2, and through this s2 you can also pass different data to this constructor, same type of constructor. Okay, now you can display s1 dot display, s2 dot display. Okay. Now we have reached to the constructor overloading. If this scenario has come, you have to use same constructor for different times. Okay, that means same constructor you can use in different ways. Okay, then that means constructor name will be same but it will be different. So that type of constructor will be overloading. So constructor overloading is a technique in Java in which a class can have any number of constructors that differ in parameter list. The compiler differentiate this constructor by taking into account the number of parameters in the list and their type. That means if you are using with the same constructor name and in the different way, then how you will use in different way? You can use in different way by using different parameters. So the compiler will recognize which constructor will working with their parameters only. Okay. Now look at this example. Class student 5 integer id string name integer a, string that means student 5 is the class. Here is student 5 is only student 5, that means it is a constructor of the two argument passing, int I and string n. And in that case id equals to I and name equals to n. Okay. Now here is another constructor with same name, but that you can have the loop you can have a look that the parameters are the different. Okay, that means integer I, string n, int a. That means 3 arguments have been passes to this have been passed to this student file, and in the previous one 2 parameters have been passed to student file. Okay, so with this differentiation of this parameter, we can use different time in constructor in our class. Okay, now void display system.out.println, and that here id and age will be displayed, and after that is public static void main, and you can have this look student 5 s1 equals to new student 5 1 current. That means that means in the first one through s1 object only 2 parameter have been passed to constructor. That means which constructor will work out? Only the first constructor, student 5 integer I string n. Okay, and in the second one you can have this look student 5 s2 equals to new student 5 222 rn comma 25. That means 3 argument have been passed to the student 5. Okay, now if you want to display the name and age, id and name and age, then you can have s1 dot display. If s1 dot display will execute, the name of the student and the age will print, and in case of s2 display, name, age, id, this also displayed. Okay, but in the first in the s1 dot display you can have this low only the id and name will be printed, but their age not printed. The age will not be printed. Okay, this is the difference between this over constructor overloading, and now with that difference we can use different type of constructor within a class. Multiple constructors sometimes want to initialize in a number of different ways depending on the circumstance. This can be supported by having multiple constructors having different input arguments. Okay, so have a look multiple constructor. What in the previous slide I have explained, the same thing is over here. Public class circle, the public double xyr instance variable. Okay, now the constructor public circle double center x double center y double radius. That means public circle, that means one constructor, and second one is public circle double radius. Okay, that means the second constructor, and public circle you can have this the different, you can have the look of the different way of initializing this constructor. One is the in the first circle constructor you can have a loop that there are 3 types of argument have been passed. In the second constructor only 1 argument have been passed. Okay, and the third one there is no argument. That means the third one will, when the object will automatically initialize, it will automatically initialize the variable. Okay, now we will go this one is have a look this one. When this main class will execute, the circle A equals to new circle 10 12 20. That means the first constructor will pass to this one, and in the down you can, in the right side, in the left side, at the leftmost side you can have look that there is a circle A which is going to circle constructor with the parameter 10 12 20. Okay, and the second one circle B with only 1 parameter, and it will go to the circle with 1 parameter. Okay, and the circle C which it will go to the circle constructor with none. Okay, so in this case the radius will be 1, and in the middle one the radius will be 10, and in the last one is a reducing 20. Okay, now copy constructor. What is copy constructor? There is no copy constructor in Java, but we can copy the value of one object to another like copy constructor in C++. Everyone you know that C++ support copy constructor, but Java is not. There are many ways to copy the values of one object into another, in Java. There are by constructor, by assigning the value of one object to another, by clone method to object class. Okay. Copying value without constructor. We can copy the value of one object to another object by assigning the object value to another object. In this case, there is no need to create the constructor. Suppose here the student 7, integer I, string n, and student 7 with none argument. In this section, if I want to copy, suppose s1 and s2 object has been created, like I want to copy one from one object to another object, then I can write this one s2.id equals to s1.id. that means s1.id will copy to s2.id. okay, and after that s1 s2.name equals to s1.name. so in this case the s1 name will be copied to s2 name. okay, you can have a look that we can copy the value without using constructor. okay, now there is a difference between constructor and method. Constructor is also used to initialize the state of object. Method is used to expose behavior of object. Constructor must not have return time. Method have return time. Constructor is when the method will give nothing. In that case, you have to write the void before method. okay, but you have you don't have to write anything before constructor in the case when there is no return type. okay, constructor is invoked implicitly, method is invoked explicitly. The Java compiler provide a default constructor if you don't have any constructor. Method is not provided by compiler in this case. okay, constructor name must be the same as the class name. Method name may or may not be same as the class name. It not depend on the class. okay, so up to this one, it is constructor, some overview of constructor. okay, thank you students.